The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Tuesday's episode. Sorry we weren't here yesterday. Was there a supplemental episode or was it just
No,
nothing?
a blank space.
Oh
on the
my
feed.
God. And we'll write nothing because, there was nothing. There was nothing there. Well, I wonder if people were enraged. I haven't checked Instagram.
No,
Oh, good. People understand.
no one said anything.
Well, that's not a good sign either. I want people to be angry, up in arms. They didn't get a podcast yesterday, especially after a long weekend of waiting, and they heard the live episode from St. Louis on Thursday, because on Thursday we were actually recording another live episode from Cancun. I mean, where am I? I'm in St. Louis right now, but in the last since Wednesday, I've been in Cancun, Tampa, DC, St. Louis, New York, back to St. Louis. It's been insane. I just got back this morning, 15 minutes ago. And oh my God, I'm wearing black socks with my sneakers. It's not a good look. I'm kind of giving up on my outfits. I've consistently worn a Taylor Swift shirt ever since the day I said I was going to. I have maybe 5 or 6 left. It is so nice to not have to wear anything except this. Like, it's a uniform of sorts where it's like, usually every day I'm like, oh my God, do I have to look cute? And when I have a rule for myself, which is like, you got to wear a Taylor Swift shirt, it takes so much of the stress out of getting dressed out of it. I love it. I didn't even realize I was giving myself such a gift. I put all of my Taylor Swift shirts on top of my wardrobe in my closet, and then as I wear them, I wash them and then I put them in the drawer. So the ones on top, I know I haven't worn yet. I want to keep adding because I don't want to ever wear anything else because I don't want to try to look super cute. And let me just be honest, her merch isn't all that cute. And it's not my fault if it's not cute. It's like I had to wear it because I made a rule for myself that I created. So it's really, it's up to me anyway. Yesterday was, Cancun was wild. Thank you to all the besties that were there. And showed your support while we recorded an episode from the pool. It was truly insane. That episode will be out on Thanksgiving. You will hear a lot of screaming. You will hear me trying to mitigate the screaming, begging them to stop screaming, because everything in Cancun is, you say anything and it's, wow! Like, my psoriasis is flaring up. Yeah! Like, there's a child drowning all over there. Wow! Like, everything you said. And it's just like, this is not going to be fun for anyone to listen to. But Thanksgiving is such a painful day anyway for a lot of people that they'll be happy to have it, I think. And you will hear, I just want you to know, you'll hear me struggling, pleading with them on your behalf, listener, that no one wants to hear that. It's a fun thing to do in the moment, but I was just like, please stop screaming. Please, sir. It wasn't, it was just women, but we did a really fun thing that you'll see. Like, the podcast goes off the rails almost immediately. And then, I had just a little simmer of an idea before we began. I go, it might be funny to do this. And thank God we had that idea, because people were tuning us out. There was a woman, I remember, she turned her back to me and ordered like a Mai Tai at the bar. And the people just started to seem annoyed because they didn't understand what this was. They were all there for a comedy festival, so they knew. And most people were very engaged. But, only 2 people drowned. I was trying to incite, rushing the stage. No, I wasn't. The Travis Scott thing, I've looked into it a little bit. Have you, Noah?
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was. I just heard Astroworld. It sounded like a roller coaster. And I was like, Travis Scott has a roller coaster? And then I thought people died on a roller coaster.
There's a park in Coney Island called Astroland. So I associated with a roller coaster also.
Okay, yeah. Well, there we go. And then I thought people died on the roller coaster. then I realized, and then you look into it, this guy, there's a lot of funny memes going on of like, you know, of him like creating crowd safety, and it's him just like doing the subtle thing that I caught that comedian doing, where he or she, I didn't say she, is raising their arms like, everyone laugh, everyone get up. Like he's doing that behind like a burning stage, like just being like, guys, calm down. There's but there's a guy that almost died at a 2017 concert in New York City at Terminal 5, where he fell off a balcony and it is now paralyzed. And he was just he goes out and does like advocacy for like crowd control at Travis Scott concerts, especially. And then this happens. And then I guess Drake didn't even take down the stories from that night it happened of like celebrating like their show or whatever. I don't know. It's just also insensitive. What do you know about it?
I know a few things that Andrew will bring up in the news, possibly.
Okay. Yeah. My mom was at the Who concert in Cincinnati where I think a lot of people died. Like, was a lot in the 70s. The Who played in Cincinnati and there was a trampling episode. Have you almost ever been trampled at a concert? Because you've been moshing before.
You know what? I've never almost been stampeded upon at a concert, but I do remember it was in junior high school. Something happened in the hallway and there was this like mad rush. And I remember just like my body just floating to another part of the hallway. Completely. It was so scary.
And
kids falling and stuff and screaming.
There was something on Reddit actually recently where it showed what crowds look like water, like from an aerial shot, the way they move. It's just like rippling water. Like there's no, that terrifies me. Anytime I get into a building that has a lot of people in it, I make myself aware of the fire exits and I position I have a plan where like if shit goes down, where I'm gonna go, where I'm gonna run. The second I hear a pop sound, like I'm always thinking of like shooting, or like the second I smell smoke, like I'm not even gonna question it. I'm gonna see like a smoke machine and I'll just like start running for the doors. But that's how scared I am of, because you know.
Have you ever been in a situation where it got a little chaotic?
No, I don't. I just think I have a fear of not getting out, like knowing I'm not naive enough to think that like, oh my God, there's fire exits. Like I think early on I was like, you know, you go to a movie theater and the person comes out sometimes and like talks to you before the movie. This was maybe, I haven't gone to the movies in so long, but they used to like have a representative come and talk to you and be like, the exits are up here. And you're like, yeah, I know why would I need to know where the exits are? It's because in a situation where there's a fire or chaos, people have no idea where to go. And so I think I just realized that the over precaution was probably for a good reason. And then the more I looked into it and read into it, it was like, oh, I think there was some fire at a nightclub at some point. And I read horrifying stories from smart people that were like able-bodied, much like myself, not like wasted, just got trampled because everyone starts freaking out and everyone goes for the same door. I think I just saw enough stuff like that it made me aware. You know, I did the celebrity roast thing. What was that called? No, it was I played Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And that was an insane thing. Like I show up and it's like in a garage in this kind of like bad part of like Hollywood. I thought it was going to be like a really nice situation. It's kind of hobbled together. It wasn't the greatest experience. It ended up being a really funny show and funny jokes, and the writers on it were amazing and the performances were great, but the production itself was terrifying because I was getting mic'd by this woman who I guess saw that she had someone in me that she could like say her truth to, but she looked like very concerned. I'll never forget her face. And she was like micing me, and you kind of just say like, hi, it's an intimate moment. They're like in your bra. And she was like, can I just say that this place is not fire safe? And this is just like begging for an accident and something really tragic to happen. And I was like, what? I mean, we're like about to go on. And I want to get this over with. I'm already uncomfortable. There's a whole other story that I don't want to get into because I don't want to have like people come after me about it. But it was just not a fun day. Nothing to do with the people who booked me for it or created the show, but not a good day, even though, it starts at the top, let me be honest. And this woman goes, she was like, it's not fire safe in there. There's no exits. They're not clearly marked. There's too many people in there. There's cords all over the ground. There was no exit. It was a place with one. It was totally not safe. So I was like, well, fuck, dude. I go, I'm walking to stage. I want to get out of there so bad. It was Halloween night, 2018, 17. I'm like, I don't even want to be here. I just want to get this production over with. We are already running late. There's a live audience. They're doing, the guy's doing crowd warm up. We're about to walk to our seats. And I go to the director, the guy behind the whole show, and I go, listen, I've got some intel that this isn't up to fire code and I'm not feeling good about it. And I have an irrational fear of dying in a fire and I just don't want to tonight. This isn't worth it to me. And he was like, okay, I can assure you that is not the case. It became like a big thing of we had the fire marshal out here earlier today. He looked it over. It's fine. Yes, what you're seeing and what I didn't even rat out the woman. And then he's like, where are you getting this from? And I go, you know what? I got it from her. And I'm not going to cause she was being kind of what is this girl freaking out about? And I'm like, you were the one who told me. I'm like, I'm not going to be in this alone. And I go, and it's not okay that she doesn't feel safe telling you guys that. What's going on with that? Why does she have to tell me? And I'm glad she did because I'm someone who will say something. I said, don't get mad at her. I go, don't, because obviously she didn't feel safe telling you. And they go, and I'm scared, and I'm like, I don't want to delay this production. I want to get out of here too. Please just tell me it's safe. And they're like, we had the fire marshal out here. I'll never forget this guy, this fucking liar. We had the fire marshal here. And I go, okay, I can't. Did he leave paperwork that he signed off on it? He was like, it's totally safe. I'll email it to you right after we're done. And I go, I'm choosing to trust you right now because I don't really have another option. Because he was like, I can't get it now. It's in my email. It's like, he goes, I promise you I'll get it to you. He never sent it to me. But because we all died in that fire that night, I'm a ghost. But and I go, you know what? Okay, fine. I go, but I did the same thing that I did when Carlisle got hit by a kid on a Lime scooter. The kid, Carlisle was could have been concussed. We didn't really know. It was kind of the aftermath. Everything was hazy. She was walking around, but who knows how bad her injuries were. She got clocked on a sidewalk by a Lime scooter. A second later or before, I don't know which one, she would have been dead. No question. And she was, I told the kid, he was mid-20s kid on this scooter with his friends. He didn't mean to. I can forgive someone for doing a dumb mistake. People are on Lime scooters on the sidewalk all the time. He's going way too fast. He's probably a little drunk. And I go, give me your number just in case something's wrong with her. And so he gives me his number and I go, I'm not even going to test this right now because I'm going to trust you. But if you lied to me and this isn't a real number, you're a real dirtbag. So I'm just going to trust that you're a good person. And he fucking gave me a fake number because I wrote to him to say she's fine. And it was like, this number does not exist. So anyway, this guy, the story is wild. I'm sorry to take up so much time. I'll try to finish it quickly. So then the guy placates me by being like, okay, so you're okay to do it? And I go, I'm okay to do it. But I'm just telling you, I don't feel that comfortable. And he goes, let's get someone to walk Nikki to set. And they're holding my hand as I walk over cords, kind of being like, oh, baby needs to be held. I go, I think I can walk over cords that are total fire hazards around a tent material. And I just go, I can walk myself. And he's like, are you sure? And I go, I think I got it. And so I'm walking back and I'm getting mic'd back there again, refixed on my mic. And the guy goes, I go, hey, can you just tell me what you think about the fire safety of this building? He goes, oh, it's fucking awful. This is a tragedy waiting to happen. And I go, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, oh, it's bad. We all know it. And I go, I'm saying something. So then I get Seth Green and Fortune Feimster, who are also they're playing Princess Diana, Lady Di, and Seth is playing David Bowie. And I get them and I go, guys, we are literally backstage about to go on. They're bringing us up, moments away. And we're all like kind of psyched and like there's music pumping and the crowd's going wild. And I'm like, guys, this is not fire safe. Like this woman warned me and now this guy warned me. I don't feel like that the guy that told me it was safe, I even trust him. This is not good. And Seth is like, I'll carry you out, Nikki. Get on my back if something happens. And I'm like, okay, no one's taking this seriously. I'm feeling like I'm just a little overcautious. So then I just go, you know what? I'm just going to pay it close attention to the fire, like to any smoke I smell. The whole show I was going, like I looked like I was doing Kurt Cobain on coke because I am so aware and very skittish, like totally looking for fire the whole time. Had a plan. I was like, you know what? Fuck all these people. I only can get myself out. I was going to do a George Costanza. So then this is the wild part. So the original woman who clued me in on the fire safety hazards, she comes up with a clipboard to tell me where I'm sitting on stage. We're backstage and she's like, okay, you're going to go out. And so she's pointing on the clipboard and she goes, okay, so Nikki. And I go, I tried. I really tried. And she goes, thank you for doing that. And I go, I mean, he told me it was safe. I don't know what to do. She was like, it's okay. Yeah. But you could tell she's still concerned. She looks at her clipboard. She goes, okay, so you're going to go out and then die. And I go, what? And she goes, you're going to go out and then die. And I go, what are you saying? And she goes, you're going to go out and then die. And then Princess Diana. And I go, I go, do you know what it sounded like you just said? You're going to go out and then die. Like I'm going to die, like death. And she was like, oh, we both looked at each other like, oh my God. And she was like, that is weird. I was like, yeah, it's weird. I thought it was like, I mean, that's the kind of thing that would happen in a Final Destination movie. Like of all things that she could say after that. So I didn't die, but the whole production, I was very uncomfortable. And it's the kind of things that happened on these shows, on productions all the time where people are just like, if I'm the whistleblower, I'm the one that holds up everything, then nothing happens and I look like I was worried about nothing. And I look like a little Puss in Boots or like the guy that thought the sky was falling, Chicken Little. And sometimes you got to be Chicken Little. And I was that day and I looked like a big annoyance, but I will never, I mean, I guess I don't know the guy's name that lied to me, so I could probably work with him again. But if I see him on set, I will be very angry and I'll still collect the check and work with him. Let's get Andrew in here. Andrew! What up, Andrew?
Hey, Nikki.
Hey.
Hey there, pal.
I haven't even talked about last night. Did you see I met Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, obviously I'm jealous. I was eating a giant Jimmy John sub throughout the day.
Throughout the day?
Yeah.
You got one early in the day and then you just kept going to the fridge for it?
Yeah, I bought a giant, which is like $18, and I just went to town on it like
Whoa,
9 different times.
How long is a giant? $18. That's
Long
got to be
enough
like a party sub?
I mean, it's too large. It's like this times 2. It's probably this much sub.
Oh, okay, so that's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
And they're
but
thin-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a sad picture to paint while I'm hobnobbing with Brucey.
I mean, he has his hands on your hips and I have my hands on some mayo.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Everyone kept commenting about the hand on my hip like it was some kind of like invasion of my privacy, but I loved it.
Yeah, it's the boss. The boss does what the boss does.
I mean, he wasn't being creepy at all. Like, he didn't even know who... Literally, if you look at the video, he didn't know who was standing next to him. He didn't look at me at any point.
Yeah.
There was I could have been Jim Gaffigan.
I mean, he might have thought you were. Who knows?
Jim Gaffigan, I want to say, did kindly... He was in position to be next to Bruce, and he goes, come on, Nikki. You go. Like, he sacrificed his spot so that I could be next to Bruce. It was so nice. And I was like, thank you, Jim, because,
So what did the boss smell like? Like, people don't get close to the boss. Like, what did he feel like?
You don't get that close to the boss. No one does, right?
Yeah, no one does.
I don't see a lot of pictures with the boss with people.
No, the boss does not.
I got fired.
What do you mean?
By the boss.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I got hired. You're fired.
You're fired.
My mom used to fire people.
You're near him. Is there a glow? I mean, this is
He's
top
a very
10 rock.
taut man.
What do you mean taut? Like
his like
ripped?
face is taut.
Okay.
He's like shiny and fresh looking and really handsome. He plays guitar at, well, you could see this for yourself if you ever watch his live performance, but I realized his stance is that of, I realized it because earlier in the night, Jon Stewart was talking to the woman. There's Lee and Bob Woodruff are the ones that put on this event for injured soldiers and their families, and to raise money. And the crowd is all rich people. It's like a couple veterans, but it's like mostly just rich New York socialites that can afford a ticket to this insane show. I thought it was all going to be all veterans. Like
yeah, I thought it was going to be for the troops.
Kind of blue collar fun thing. It was to have those people donate tons and tons of money. There was an auction right before I went up, there was an auction.
You would have still thought they'd have maybe 500 seats for the troops.
It was 1,000-seater.
Oh, it was 1,000-seater.
Yeah, it was, and to fly in troops because of COVID, it was just some reason. They usually have a lot of troops there, but there weren't.
Just have them parachute in. You could get probably 300 through the roof.
There have to be local troops too, but they wanted wounded ones,
Yeah, that gets more money.
Oh my God, there was so many. I broke my heel on the red carpet. Like I was just like talking to someone, and I was just kind of like dilly dallying back and forth, and like kind of bending on the heels I was wearing to give my bunions some relief. Snap! You heard it crack like an old tree, like a redwood.
Did you fall or anything?
No, I just was like, oh God damn it, and it cracked off. And I go, well, looks like. They're not gonna be the only ones limping tonight. I was like, I think
that's what you said.
Yeah, I go. I think they're gonna like it. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna look just like them. And you could tell the guy, the CBS reporter that was like interviewing me, was a little bit like, should we like cancel her? Like, should we keep this footage? And we're not gonna use it, but should we wait till we can cancel her? But it was. I go, what are you getting mad at me for? They limp. And I will be too. There's nothing wrong with what I'm saying.
It's a good joke.
I love taking apart people when they go, ooh, oh my God. I got it. My set was just so, like, this crowd, they're just stuffy, rich.
Yes.
Like,
when did you go up?
People who love their money, and let me just say, probably love Trump. Because based on the jokes I did, which I thought would be well received by people attending an event emceed by Jon Stewart, they would be in for a little bit of digs at Trump. I never used to like to make Trump jokes because I felt it alienated the crowd and I didn't want to make anyone feel bad. Fuck you. I don't care anymore. Because I make one joke about him being a buffoon and then you tune out my whole set because you're angry. You're ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So wait, go through it. So you go.
So anyway, I'm backstage with. I'm like kind of like reeling after my set.
What's the backstage feel though? Like before you go on stage, so you're back there. Is everyone have their own green room?
I get there. I have, oh my God, dude. I had 2 hours of hair and makeup. I have a very, very tiny room at the Intercontinental Hotel they got for me, but it's a tiny room. 3 people show up to do my hair and makeup. They have an assistant there to just like open creams and like open her eyeshadows. And I was just like, why are there 3 people? It's too much. They did my makeup and God bless them. I just didn't have time to have them fix what went wrong. And it was a low lighting, and these people are talented in their own right. It's hard to do makeup specifically for someone who knows what they like. But I took a selfie of what I looked like after they got done. Just to just to confirm that I never want my hair and makeup done again. I'm just always gonna do it myself. It saves me time, it saves me money, and it saves me from wanting to cry. It's not good. It's not good, Noah. I'm going to give that to you to put up on the...
I mean, you look like a vampire geisha mime. A vampire geisha mime.
I look I'm about to be... this is what I would look like if there was an open casket.
Yeah, yes.
And I died of some sort of...
blood. All the blood in your face is through somewhere else.
Yeah, rat poison I ate or something. I mean, I was
You
miserable.
look like a powdered donut.
So, and I requested so much bronzer. Like, that's what it really did look like.
I mean, it
looks like I can bend spoons. If you know what I'm talking about.
You look like you're like that you just wrote the Declaration of Independence. Or no, before that.
Spoons with my mind, I guess. Do you remember Powder, that movie?
Oh, yes.
Where he would be like, and a spoon would bend.
Love that movie.
I never saw it, but I always referenced it because I always felt like I had the same complexion. I was so upset. I was texting Jen, my assistant, and I was just like... And I was already depressed yesterday. I slept all day. I got into New York at 11.
I don't know how you did it.
I got to my hotel by 1, and I slept until 4. And then I woke up, and I had to. And they were. I told them they shouldn't be there till 5 because I don't need more than an hour and a half to get ready. They're there at 4, and Jen's like, they're in the lobby. They have a lot of stuff. Can they come up? And I'm like, okay, fine. So I let them up. I go down to get Starbucks. I come back. There's 3 of them in the room. And I go, why are there 3? I'm texting her from the bathroom. I'm like, I have to shower. They're mad at me that I have to shower. I'm like, but your guys are here so early. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They did their best. They're not bad artists. They just were bad for me. And I can do it better myself. And that's why I'm going to do it better myself. Like, it's like masturbating. It's like sometimes you have sex with someone and you're like, no, I can do this better myself.
I was going to ask you how the French Revolution was.
Oh, that's hilarious. And exactly... I wanted to
like they almost put
stab
like
them all
a
with
fake
a
mole
bayonet.
on your
a fake leg.
Will you post that on the Instagram?
I gave it to Noah to post it.
Oh, it's so rich.
So bad. And that was when they were done. They had she had given me this fake eyelashes that were just like these clumps that they put on. They were so bad. The person that I invited to go with me got to the hotel and I was crying. But I couldn't cry because I didn't want to mess up my makeup. So I'm like, I can't cry. So I just started going, and just like shaking and just like sometimes I just get so mad I can't cry that I clench my fists as hard as I can and almost like dig my nails into like, I just feel like I have to just tense up like.
I do that sometimes. Yeah.
Like, it was like that. I was great. And he was like, are you okay? And I said some very bad things about those people.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't recognize this person. And then later on, we were talking about someone I forgave. And he was like, you're such a person that's able to forgive people so quickly for things that are bad. But man, earlier today, you were not that person. I go, yeah. And I knew in that moment, I was like, I'm saying horrid things about
you got to
those
get
people,
it out.
But it wasn't something that would stay with me. I've already forgiven them. And it was my fault. I didn't communicate properly. And I shouldn't have hired them. And it just wasn't it wasn't right.
I want to know more about
fault.
the event, though.
We can get into it, but we got to get to the news.
Yeah. Damn it. Because I want to know, like, what
But
the
Jon
whole
Stewart, I want to
setup
say,
was. My hero.
He came up behind, like, I was sitting next to Lee Woodruff, who is this amazing woman who is so sexy. And, like, she's probably in her, like, 50s, maybe late 50s, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
She's so hot. I'm just like, I want to do anything you do. Like, she was just the sexiest woman I've ever seen. She was so cool to me. Like, just be yourself. She's like, you and I are the same person. She was just, like, awesome. I was like, thank you. So I'm chilling with her on this stool after my set that was, like, mediocre. Blech.
When did you go up in the lineup? How did it?
It was, like, Harlem Choir singing National Anthem. A little bit of a video about wounded soldiers. Then Donnell Rawlings, then another wounded soldier video, then an auction, then Nate Bargatze, then a video, then some other people speaking, then the Craig from Craigslist, then then Brandy Carlisle, then another musical performance. I was like towards the end of the show.
Did anyone destroy? No. So then whatever.
I was so jealous.
Wait, what were you
going
to say about Jon Stewart?
So
yeah.
He was sitting next. He came up to talk to Lee as I was watching the show. It was like she was behind me and I heard this person like come over and talk to her, but I thought it was like one of the backstage guys that were like working the pulleys for the curtain because he was wearing a baseball cap. He had like that scruffy like beard, like kind of grayish beard, and I she's being very friendly. And so I looked and then I did a total double take and I go, oh my God, I didn't recognize you. And I was like. And he had a great set to open the show. So I was like, oh my God, it was so funny. And he made some joke about like, oh yeah, they really want to hear about anal right away. And I was like, oh, he did an anal. I didn't even hear the anal joke, but I guess he talked about anal right out of the gate. But he told me that he was like, he goes, he kept making jokes about how bad they were, which felt so good. And he hadn't seen my set. So he was already validating that they were bad. And he was really nice. And I took a picture with him. And then right after the picture, he goes, you had to crouch, didn't you? You had to crouch. I sensed the crouch. You didn't have to crouch, but you crouched. And I go, no, I didn't. Like, I'm wearing heels. Like, it's like not. I go, you're not.
How big was your crouch, honestly?
It wasn't a bad crouch at all. I always kind of like lean in to be closer to people. But then I realized Bruce Springsteen does the same crouch to play music. He's like crouched down like he's taking
Why
pictures.
Why didn't you just lean on the one heel that was gone? Why didn't you show him your heel? No, because we fixed it. The guys backstage put a nail in it and fixed it. They got me Gorilla Glue. They got me tons of stuff. It would have been a great out, though, if you showed him your heel. That would have been perfect. Wait. Oh, and yeah, he's short. Springsteen's not that tall either.
No, he's short too, yeah.
Short men, killing it. Kings.
Oh my God. Can I just say, Jon Stewart, fucking hot.
Yes, I'm sure.
And I know it's because he's funny and famous and all those things. He's hot. He's so hot.
No one ever said he was ugly.
No one did. But he's a like a cute guy, and I was just so nervous around him. But he was so nice. At one point, we were all taking a picture, and I put this in my Instagram story. But he said, "This looks like the cast for an animated movie." Where it's like they're buttons, but they came to life. And I was laughing so hard, and I go, and yeah, this is the first time any of these people have actually talked to each other or met in real life. And no one laughed at my line. But later on, Chris, the guy I brought, he was like, that was fucking hilarious. And I was like, thank you. I thought it was funny too. And then he's like, everyone's too nervous around John. They're not even listening.
Yeah. I mean, look, you were at the same table with fucking
and
and
all I
holding
was
your
doing
own.
was
Just kidding.
I was just kidding. News.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh man, sorry we took off yesterday. I had to eat Jimmy John's, and Nikki had to do something with Jon Stewart and the boss. Same thing. I hope you're having all the swells, and it's Tuesday, so everyone knows what that means. It's Tuesday, and okay. All right, 2 California couples have gave birth to each other's babies after a mix-up at a fertility clinic and spent 3 months raising the wrong children that weren't theirs before swapping the infants.
I mean, what's the difference at that point?
Hey, you mean just keep them?
I mean, after 3 months, you would feel very connected to this baby that you were with for 3 months, and then all of a sudden you are like, no, but it doesn't have my same DNA.
Yeah, they mistakenly...
Give me back my baby that looks like me.
The other couple wanted their baby back, too.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
Chili's. Baby back ribs. I just feel, I'm not a big fan of like, I want my DNA.
I know. I felt like you would
lame.
have that reaction.
I mean, I think it's sad. I bet it wasn't easy, and I bet they will always feel deeply connected to those children that they raised for 3 months.
One of the babies was a darker shade than both the parents, and they were like, I guess it's like they were like trying to convince themselves like over time. They're like, no, it's like
he just got a tan in the incubator.
Yeah, he was. I mean, they were. That. It's got to be crazy. They said they're going to stay friends. And, like, I don't know if you have to after 3 months, though. I feel like you're kind of like...
No, that's such a crazy thing to happen that I think it could bind. Like,
that's
if
true.
you spent 3 months raising what you thought was your brand new baby and you were either, first-time parents or, it's your baby. It's something that you just gave birth to and obviously they're at a fertility clinic, so they've been working on having a kid. It means a lot to them. You have a baby for 3 months that you think is yours. That 3 months is so important in a new parent's life to bond with their baby that bonding is more important than if the baby spent 3 years as an adolescent, I would say.
Not to mention, how crazy is it that you could put someone else's sperm and egg in another, and it just develops? It's just that's wild to me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, why doesn't every woman do a surrogacy? Why would you ever, if you could afford it, why would you ever do it yourself? Because you want to be pregnant?
Maybe you would feel bad for the woman that has to do it.
No, you pay her, and she wants to do it. She's good at having babies. She's a good oven.
Do those people have C-sections all the time? How many babies do they have?
I did a huge bit on it in Perfect of like, I just found out a surrogacy. You can put your own egg, and it comes out looking like you. It's you. She's just a carrier of it. And I'm like...
It's wild.
Why doesn't everyone do this?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why wouldn't you do that? If you want to have your own baby and not like have your... Like, but the thing is, I just want to do it because I want to like keep my figure. Oh, I remember the bit. My bit was like, I would want to do it because I want to keep my figure, and you can't. That's too vain of a reason. So you have to like come up with like a thing you have that's like an affliction that you're like, I can't have my own baby because I have like my pussy's like too tight. It's like, so I came up with a thing called TPS, tight pussy syndrome. And it's like, I am.
But Nikki,
so
your
little.
baby would be so skinny for your tight pussy.
No, even a skinny baby can't fit through. It's so tight.
my
I forgot the
God.
bit. It was a pretty good bit. It's so weird that you can forget bits.
I mean, it's just.
But why don't people do that all the time?
I don't know. I mean, does the baby?
You have to have your eggs frozen first.
Can the baby? I wonder if the baby can suck the woman's breast that had the baby.
A baby can suck any woman's breast.
Yeah, I guess so. But is the milk better from your own tit? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm
That's
boggled
pretty
at people that go, I don't want to adopt because I just like don't know that it will be the same as if it's my own. It's like, so you think adopted children aren't as loved as biological children. You think that, like, and they go, no, it's like, but you do. You just said it. So I've never thought that parents that have adopted kids don't love their kids as much as parents that have their own kids. There's never been that for me, but I think a lot of people think that. And I would be enraged if I were an adopted child and most people thought that. And I think most people do.
Yeah. I mean, the surrogate thing, though, even if you're getting paid, you got to bond with that. I don't know. That's a crazy job. I don't know how people do it. Like, you don't think you bond with the baby? It's in you 9 months.
Yeah, but I mean, there's girls that give their own babies up, let alone it not being your egg or the sperm of the person that you're with. Or
women love the picture too, like 2 months, 4 months, 6 of their belly.
Yeah,
6 months. It's here. It's a baby. It's a boy or a girl. I'm not going to show the photo though because it's ours. But I did lead you to the whole way. I've used this baby to get likes, but I'm not showing the face.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not showing the face.
Put an emoji over it.
Anyhow, but yeah, that was wild.
There's a great This American Life called Switched at Birth. I'm not kidding you. If you need to waste 2 hours of your life, one of the most compelling things I've ever listened to was the This American Life episode Switched at Birth, which is the same thing that happened, but the babies were born on the same day or around the same time. And they got switched to the hospital. And they were raised in the same community, they went to the same school all their lives. And one of the moms knew, but never said anything because it was the 50s or it was like the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you don't question a doctor. And it would make the doctor seem like he did a bad job. And you don't question a male doctor, even though she knew. So she was like obsessed with the other girl because she knew it was hers.
Whoa.
It's wild. And it shows you like what nature and nurture can both do because both...
Did you see the documentary about the triplets, the 3 guys?
Oh no,
they were
but I
raised
heard
by
about that.
different families.
Yeah, and they're all
and then
like,
they
so
came
the
together,
same.
and then they were like sex symbols for like a year. Everyone's like, "Who's these 3 like Long Island Italian kids?"
Switched at birth,
and they were all smoking and like being treated like gods. You know, I don't know. It was just really
cool.
funny. But yeah, you see nurture versus nature, but then you could see how many things they have in common, even though they are raised by other people. I don't know. It's wild.
Well, that's what they found. It was with adoption, IQ is not affected by nature or nurture. It's all nature. No matter what, you're not going to affect a child's IQ by like doing things differently. The kid is what it is. That's all.
My cousins adopted 2 Russian kids from like Russia.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
But I've never questioned a parent's love for their adopted child is less or more than that of someone who has their own child ever. But I think a lot of people do.
They came to the DC show.
Oh yeah, I liked them. They were so nice.
Oh, they're the best.
Next story.
They're funny. They told a story. They're like, one's in law school and the other one lives in our basement. Like, but they led with law school. I don't know. It's pretty funny. Anyways, researchers behind a study titled Sand, Sun, Sea, and Sex with Strangers, the 5 S's, found that tours hooking up in the Canary Islands are destroying fragile and sand dune habitats.
What did you just say? What was any of that?
Honestly, I was reading it.
Sand, sun, sea, and sex with
I feel like
serpents.
Noah set up my list.
Yeah, Noah just picked the essiest news story. Okay, so can I tell you what I gleaned from it? In the Canary Islands, there are people having sex in the sand, and it's fucking up like habitats.
Yes.
Like calm getting places.
I mean, I think
like,
they're just fucking too hard. They're ruining,
and there's like 8
lines.
native plants that are dying because of it, because they're like getting smushed.
I could see this happening. I mean, the other day we walked across the lawn at that resort, and I was like, Andrew, you can't walk across grass.
I mean, I think that was a crazy thing to say.
It just doesn't. It was in front of so many people, and we're at this resort as like we're working for the resort. It just felt like we shouldn't walk across the grass.
You're raised with grass. You play in grass. Grass comes back.
But
what
when
are you
it's
talking about?
I'm just saying, for me, it just looks bad when there are paths that we are just... Because like grass is like it's manicured. Someone's job is to keep that grass looking as great as possible.
Yes.
And if you create tread over it, it's not.
I did jerk off while we were walking, which was
that
a
was
little heavy. I get what you were saying. It was in front of a lot of people, so it was like, oh, the performers
it just
don't
looked
need
like
to
we
use
were a
the
little
path.
bit like, oh, fuck this place. Like, it just felt like, but I did it. I mean, I followed you. I was like, why are we crossing? Because we didn't want to walk extra 4 paces. I mean, we haven't gone over Cancun or anything.
Oh.
We've been in a million places.
I mean, life was insane this past weekend. I don't know how you're still
I saw
awake.
Donnell last night. Donnell was in Cancun with us.
I saw him all over the resort. Like
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Donnell
what did he
Rawlings,
say? Did he like it?
So I saw him last night, and we went to the event, and then afterwards, back at the hotel, my friend and I were like walking around Times Square trying to find food because it was late, and that's where our hotel was by. And on the way back, we run into Donnell. And he's like with a wounded soldier, and he's like going. He's like, we're gonna go do karaoke. Come on, Nikki, come on. And early in Cancun, he was like, Nikki, let's smoke some weed. And I go, Donnell, I don't smoke weed anymore. And he's like, well, let's go get a drink. And I was like, I don't drink. And he goes, oh, so you fuck a lot. And I was like, I mean, I guess I could be addicted to sex. I don't know, but I don't think I am. But it was
like,
funny.
so you read a lot. It
is interesting.
So you do a lot with charity.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, that is addiction. Like, people stop drinking and then they just start fucking a ton. And you just find something else. So he wasn't off, but I ran into him and I go, Donnell, I'm going to go to bed. Like, I go, I'm so tired. He's like, you're always tired. I'm going to tell people Nikki is not as fun as she seems. And I was like, Donnell, I am fun. I swear to God, I'm fun. I've had the longest damn day. And he goes, you don't think I work hard? You're going to play the work hard card? And I go, yeah, Donnell. I go, I know I was in Cancun, but when I'm not in Cancun, I'm doing other work all the time. It doesn't stop for me right now. And he was like, you're trying to play this game. He was like, he was like getting mad at me. And I was like, Donnell, I'm not having this conversation. I go, okay, fine, one song. Because I thought the karaoke place, he was like, just right there. We're karaoke. And he goes, all right, let's do it. Get in the car. And I go, I'm not getting in a goddamn car. I go, Donnell, no. And he was just like, I'm going to tell everyone, you're a fake. You're a fraud. You're not fun. And I was like, I'm not. I wanted to yell to him, I'm about to go get fucked.
Yes.
That's what I want to do. I should have said that. I should have been like, I'm about to go have sex, Donnell.
Yeah, well, you sing 3 songs, I'm going to be fucking for at least 2 of them.
But he was, it enraged me because I was just trying to prove to him, and my feet hurt so fucking bad last night. So bad. And that is something that men do not understand. When you're at the end of the night in heels, there's no, and I didn't bring little like slip-ons.
Yeah.
It was torture. I was in so much pain.
I don't know how people can do, it's weird how like certain comedians, like, the attention train just never stops. Like, for me, if I do a show, even if it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I'm good. I'm good on the attention. Like, I don't need...
What about when you drank?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess, yeah.
That was my point. I go, Donnell, I don't drink.
Yeah.
You're drunk right now.
It's like finding the next bar. It's
oh, my God. When I was drinking, the night never ended.
Yeah.
I would always want to, and I would tell everyone, "You're lame. You suck. You're going to bed." You know,
it's because the night doesn't seem long. You're drinking. You kind of like.
It's awesome.
You kind of like just it. 5 hours can seem like 10 minutes when you're drinking. I was
so hungry. I was tired. My feet hurt, and I did say I would sing one song if it was close by. And then he was like, "Let's get in the car." And I go, "No." But he is mad at me, I think, now, because I sent him a picture of us this morning to like make peace, and I edited this beautiful photo of him, me, and Nate in the street. It's so cool looking. It looks like we should go on tour together just because of this photo. It's so cool. But he never wrote back to us. So I think he's mad.
Maybe he's still sleeping because he went out.
That could be right. That could be right. Okay. Let's go to break real quick and then come back with Why Do I Care? Hey, why do I care? Why do I care?
I don't know if you saw. I mean, this has been everywhere.
Astroworld?
Yes.
How did she know?
I don't know. She probably saw the email, maybe?
No, Noah and I were talking about it at the start of the show, and Noah was like, I think if you just wait, you might learn some things.
So Drake issued a statement on Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival where he made a surprise appearance before a stampede of concertgoers led to the deaths of 8 people and injuries to many others. Champaign Papi, Drake's Instagram, he wrote, I've spent the past few days trying to wrap my mind around this devastating tragedy. I hate resorting to this platform to express an emotion as delicate as grief, but this is where I find myself. My heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives, for anyone who is suffering. I will continue to pray for all of them and will be of service in any way I can. May God be with you all. He even wrote it kind of cool. Like looks like a rap.
Oh yeah, it's all like centered, and it's not like on notes, like how you would do it.
Like even his thing had to be cool.
It had to, yeah. There was like he gave it to someone to be like, put some flair on this.
Yeah,
make it look. He gave it to his like design guy.
It's so true.
I don't know. Do you think he's really praying for these people? I think he probably is.
Well, I mean, it was Travis Scott's concert. I mean, Travis Scott was kind of the mastermind behind this. I mean, he's had this before. And he's had like past things where like he's
guy's paralyzed.
He's incited violence like multiple times. He's been like charged. Like his whole thing is like fuck the system. If you don't have a ticket, just come and jump the barrier. Like and so everyone's like, but you can't blame him. He's just saying that's like you can't blame Hitler for inciting violence. Like if you don't pull the trigger, that doesn't mean. Yes. Look, I think on the same token, you could say these fucking fans are out of their mind.
Yeah.
Like, you can blame both people. You know what I mean? I hate when people are like, no, it's their fault. No, it's his. It's both it's both.
And like, listen, I could forgive young Travis Scott if he would realize that he had a part to play in it and he feels bad and isn't going to do it anymore. But this, like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to apologize. I'm so sorry for the victims, but I didn't do anything wrong. Come on.
I think he says that because probably the law, he could probably lose $50 million or something. I don't know.
Right.
There's already lawsuits filed against him. Yeah. Live Nation.
I mean,
there's a moment where he stops the crowd and is like, what's going on? And he sees the ambulance and he's like, nah, fuck it. Let's keep going. And does another 30 minutes after it's already been like labeled whatever event. You can see him robot dancing.
Wait, the ambulance is there?
Yeah.
Like pulling out dead people?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know if they're still dead. Happening? Yeah, and the concert went on for another 30 minutes.
Someone got stabbed with a syringe in the neck. Did you hear that part?
What?
Yeah, there's another thing about a guy going, which is like, that's an old tale, but I wonder if that's a real thing. I mean, that.
Oh, where you sit down in the movie theater seat and then it says, you have AIDS.
You have AIDS, yeah.
There's
remember
like a
that?
Pen there. Oh. There was some guy at our middle school who was like giving people high fives, and he had like a needle in his hand.
Really?
But it didn't have AIDS on it. But I mean, it could have or whatever. Oh my God, Andrew just got so scared. But yeah, we made fun of Hala, my friend Hala, who peed when she laughed. Because she was like so excited. She was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like she was just excited if anyone was like trying to be friends with her. She was like, fuck yeah, high five. And was like, oh, it was so
she
sad.
Got him?
Yeah, she
or
got
he got him. Yeah, people would do that with thumbtacks or whatever.
That's so insane.
Anyways, but yeah, so who do you think is to blame? At what point is the artist at fault? I mean, I'd have to say he probably is. Like it's.
I don't know. I don't really believe in blame. But that's me. I don't know. I know that, like, I just read, like, I just don't believe in locking him up or, I mean, yeah. Is it gonna bring back your son you lost? No.
I mean, should he pay some money?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should do better about, like, he should not be able to work venues that don't want people dying at their venues.
Yeah, outside venues
should take the initiative to not book him or allow him to be at their places because they don't like his, like, it's up to people like that. He clearly is not going to ever see the error of his ways and take a credibility or accountability. So when you deal with someone that is not operating by just, is not going to acknowledge the truth, don't try to like get it out of, just let them go and just don't give them the opportunity. Don't buy tickets, and if people still buy tickets to his shows and want to support him, then you are liable to get trampled. And I don't think it's anyone's fault. It's just like, I don't know. I just hate this. Like, I just read something on Reddit. Actually, let's get to Reddit dump. This is your Reddit dump. This is actually a sad Reddit thing that I read, but it was I follow last images on Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last picture that exists of someone before they died. And there was this one of this little boy that was on a fishing trip with his dad, and he was just like a cute little boy, and his dad posted it and was like, this is the last photo of my son. On the way back from this fishing trip, a woman had not hooked up her dog crate on her roof, secured it, and it came out. It came off the car and, smashed into ours and killed him on impact. And tragic little 4-year-old boy. So sad. And I was reading the comments and people were writing like, so sorry for what happened to him and all this stuff. And someone was like, what happened to the woman? Did she face any charges? And he was like, no, not yet. I want her to lose everything. And I'm just like, I don't know what it's like to lose your son or to lose a family member. I might be on that side of like, I don't think that woman intended to kill anyone. Like, accidents happen. Yes, she should have secured it better. But like, to me, it's like you want her to go away and rot in prison. I mean, for doing the thing that seems like the worst thing in the world is like contributing to the loss of your son. But like, it was an accident. And I don't know. I would have to, people could say, Nikki, you wouldn't do the same. You just put yourself in their shoes. And I'm trying to, and I could never do that without knowing what it's like to have your love for your child and all those things. And to lose someone that you love so much that's so young. How I would feel if that happened to my nephew or my niece. But I don't think the answer is locking someone up because they didn't secure a dog cage well enough on their car and it led to the death.
Yeah.
It doesn't bring your son back.
I think
she obviously, don't you think it's punishment enough that this woman has to live her life knowing that because she didn't secure a bungee cord, she killed a child? Isn't that punishment enough?
It's fucking brutal. I guess if you're gonna, it's negligence, obviously, but like I've done.
But how many negligent things have we all done?
No, I agree. I
that.
think what happens for me, it would be how stupid was the negligence. You know what I mean? Like, and even then, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, if I was like, if they did something it's like someone putting a fridge just in the back of a truck without tying it down.
Yeah.
But if she tried to tie it down and she put bungee cords and she thought it was secure, then I could probably, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain accidents that could have been avoided.
Yes.
Where I go, okay, well, you know what? Like,
I don't know. I even think that if
no, I get it. I
don't know what's life, and hopefully I'll never have to experience it. But I even think if it was a drunk driver, like if it was a young kid that just truly didn't know better, or someone that was an addict and had a tough life and they just drank too much that led them to drive, I would be so angry and like heartbroken and fucking furious. But I think putting that person away for life and ruining their life, it now ruins 2 lives. And that person's life is already ruined. Their addiction, their selfish addiction just had them kill someone else. And I don't know. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I don't see how that brings anything back.
I don't know if there's like a Holocaust survivor Reddit, but they have very interesting perspectives on forgiveness.
Yeah. I would imagine so.
Well, it kind of goes with what you're saying. In order for them to have closure, you have to forgive it. So if you just go through their stories, it's, I don't know, it's very eye-opening.
My problem with the DUI stuff is that everyone talks so much shit about it, but how many, again, it goes back to like, how many
people
have driven drunk? Literally everyone. Like, don't even like... If you're someone that goes, nah, dude, I had like 3 drinks one time and drove.
Well, you guess what? If someone you love died because if someone took 3 drinks and killed them, you would want that person to rot in hell. That could have been you.
Well, it goes back to this football player. It just happened who was on the Oakland Raiders.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that guy was going 156 miles an hour.
But see what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that he deserves to go away for life.
No. But I'm saying though, how much worse it looks. If you're going 150, like just that line alone, if he was going, 60,
you're right.
It's so weird how
it
certain
shows
things,
more negligence.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreed. And there's a part of me that if I lost someone to that guy, I'd go get the hell, go away, because you're an adult person who has the ability to make sound choices. But I guess I could extend it like he's an addict. He is under the influence of fame and looking and had to speed. I could probably, if I did enough work, get to the place where I would try to forgive that person and understand that if I was born in his body and his experience, I would have made all the same choices that would have led me to going 156 miles an hour. And like, he couldn't help it. Like I could get there, but boy, it would be hard. You're right. It does come down to like little things like that.
Yeah,
like,
he was
and
going-
at what speed is it?
Yes.
Okay, like there's got to be a tenth of a speed.
If the speed limit was 60 and you were going 80, I would go, okay. But if you're going,
Is
know what
it
I mean?
weird that
They're
like you
oh.
would suck a dick for a price?
Yeah.
But
It's
there
not-
is, but
yeah.
there is a 10-cent difference where you'd go no.
Not 10 cents. Probably.
Yeah, there has to be, because if there's a time that you would and there's a time that you wouldn't for a certain price, there has to be a cutoff, and it comes down to like you could probably get it to a 10-cent
No,
margin.
but my argument would be then it would be like either $1 million or $999,999.90.
I know, but okay, so let's take off another 10 cents. Okay, I'll do it. Another 10 cents. Okay, I'll do it. At what point does it get down to a place where you go, I'm not going to do it?
Probably $7.
Okay, here's one. This is from Not the Onion. These are this is the subreddit called Not the Onion. It's news articles that read like they're from the Onion.
Oh, wow. But they're real.
But they're actually real. So I love these. This one says, faced with soaring D's and F's, schools are ditching the old way of grading. So teachers now just don't know what they're passing kids that would be
Wait,
failing.
can you say the line one more time?
Faced with soaring D's and F's,
Yes.
schools, I know, soaring D's. Faced with soaring D's and F's, schools are ditching the old way of grading. So now,
Because D's and F's are on the rise.
yes, because after COVID, they've seen a lot of kids just stop trying because during COVID, no one needed to try. My sister was a teacher and like they didn't have homework. The kids were under so much duress and stress that they just were like,
Also, kids were fine. They were playing a lot. Like, what are we...
dude, I was reading this article. This is the wild part that I wanted to read. It said,
It's just funny to me because, like, growing up, you're like, you would do anything to get a day off school. And now you have so many days off school, and they're like, they miss school.
someone said,
You know what I mean?
yeah, oh yeah.
It's like, oh, they're just dying to get back to school.
I mean, the
Just
idea
one
of
day
getting
back
a
in school.
D in school was not an option for me. But the idea that you could pass with a D now, it says, hey, teacher here, this is a comment. Over 3/4 of my students read at a below a 5th grade reading level. I teach 11th grade. Next year is my last year of teaching. I will never look back. Fuck the system that's enabled all of this. Someone said, former teacher here, last year when COVID happened, I had to hand a diploma to a child who did a single assignment for the whole year and had a 6 average for quarter one. I don't know what that means. And boy, am I ecstatic about the former part. Someone said, my parents and all of my grandparents were all teachers. I grew up in school even when I was out of school. And yeah, fuck that shit. Someone said, yeah, everyone's saying teacher as well. It seems to get worse every year. Half of my 9 to 10 students are 4th and 5th grade reading level. How the fuck am I supposed to teach scientific literacy at the high school level if they aren't able to read and write? People are just saying, teachers
Yeah.
are dropping like flies and not looking back.
Well, I mean, what do you do then? What do you do if you're in 10th grade and they've just passed this kid because it's easier to pass them than in price?
Because they want to keep kids the same age. It's really
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you hold them back until they're caught up? You know, like what?
I don't know what the better teachers, better.
I mean, what the answer is catching it before obviously it gets to 10th grade.
But I don't even think it's better teachers. It's like smaller numbers of students, more funding for schools. It's like we're kind of screwed. There's a lot of dummies coming
I don't
our
know.
way.
I feel like I probably read on 5th grade level.
No, you talk on one. No.
Sun, size.
I feel like kids are going to be a lot smarter in ways because of all the things they learn online from constantly being like connected and exposed to so much new information, but also, extremely stupid. You see it on TikTok when kids write things or in YouTube comments. You see how illiterate people are.
Well, you could also, but then they could maybe make a hell of a video TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not going to read as much probably anymore. Like, I don't read as much because we have everything in our phone. And, like, that doesn't mean you don't learn as much. But how we judge it might have to change.
Okay, final thought.
You know what I mean, though? Like, how you judge
How we
reading
judge
comprehension. How you judge.
No, it's. I think it's pretty straightforward.
I think if you
Final
go for
thought.
the boys.
Final thought. This one is from Too Afraid to Ask. These are where people write things that they're too afraid to ask, like their friends.
Oh, I'm not afraid. Edge ain't
This
afraid.
says, is it that weird that my brother and I snuggle? Basically, the title. My brother, 23, and I, 23, are twins. We live together too, so we spend a lot of time together. We both go to grad schools in the same city. Anyway, sometimes we cuddle while hanging out or talking. Or like if one of us is sad about something or watching TV. It's not a secret, and my new boyfriend thinks it's extremely weird to be that close with a sibling. He's uncomfortable with it. I think it's gross that my boyfriend is acting jealous of my relationship with my brother. However, we've spoken to some friends and gotten mixed reactions ranging from what the fuck to must be a twin thing to doesn't seem that weird. So I want the opinion of unbiased strangers. Is it that weird that we cuddle?
Is it two boys?
Boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
Which, what would that matter? 156 miles per hour versus 80.
Yeah, I know. I guess it does. It shouldn't matter. But
she says we just cuddle whenever we are at the same whenever we are at wherever we are at the time. Usually living room or his room, since that's where the TVs are, and we don't really spoon. No, because someone asked, "Do you guys spoon?"
I mean, part of me, I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think I'd have a problem with it. It's not like it's sexual or anything, but. And twins, you're in the womb together, cuddling. Twins. Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, if the boyfriend was there and she decided to cuddle with the brother instead.
So she made that distinction. Noah, where are you split on this? Because she goes, I've been told we don't generally spoon unless we fall asleep cuddling and happen to wake up that way. Our other brothers never mentioned it being weird growing up. Our parents were taken out of the picture when we were very young, so we never had their input on the subject. Someone said, I do not cuddle with my twin in front of my boyfriend. I think I have held twin's hand in front of my boyfriend and sat between them on the couch for a scary movie night, but that's about it. For the most part, if boyfriend is over, twin is out with a girl, other friends, or in his room. Or boyfriend and I are in my room. Mostly we don't spend time at the condo. So it's not that I'm cuddling with my twin instead of boyfriend. I would feel, as long as my partner, that they were cuddling with someone and they were cuddling in a way that I craved that kind of cuddling, like that kind of intimacy, and they wouldn't give it to me too, or it was like it seemed like something I would want, like romantic, then it would bother me. But if it was just like twins, it is a twin thing, gotta be honest. Like they were in the womb together.
It's like the Island Boys.
You have to trust, if the person says it's not sexual, you have to trust them, or you think they're lying and you don't have a trusting relationship. But I think I don't know. I've had situations where I've been jealous of a boyfriend being like kind or gentle in a way with either their siblings or their girlfriends in a way that I'm just like, well, you don't do that with me. So, like, that's when it hurts. It's like, you can do that with a friend, but you can't do that with me. And that's when I start to go, okay, that's fucked. But I don't know. Twins, it's a whole other bag of bullshit. Twins are special needs.
They really are.
I'm jealous of twins and that bond.
I wouldn't want a
I think
twin.
It's sweet. And I don't think I would stop I would maybe say, it's a little weird, guys. Maybe just don't do that in front of people if I was like their mom. But I don't know. The way that girl talked, she sounded like she was completely trustworthy, and that she's just like her and her brother. If the brother was gay, everyone would be like, it's fine. Or if it was two girls, it'd be like, it's fine. But it's just interesting just because they could be attracted to each other based on what they say they're attracted to. It's a problem.
Yeah, I've definitely laid in my brother's arms before.
Yes. Yes.
For a price.
Yeah.
10 cents.
All right. Well, that's the show for today. We have a lot more show for you this whole week. We'll be back. Don't worry. We're not going to abandon you again. Don't be out there. And Jack Sparrow.